The battle to force ISIL from war-torn Iraq has devastated civilian lives in parts of the country, with children particularly affected. In fact, even before the liberation of Mosul and the battle for Tal Afar, the number of youngsters desperately in need of help exceeded 5 million. Now, there are no present-day figures, but the number is now expected to be much higher. RT's Murad Gazdiev investigates.
These children have seen more bloodshed and agony than most adults will in a lifetime.
Nearly 90% of children have lost a member of a family. Either they were kidnapped or killed. And when they were escaping from the fight, many of them have lost family members. They were shot at from behind, or they were falling on booby traps. It has been a horrible experience.
As soon as helicopter flies around, children were dropping down on the floor and crying. Some of them cry at night. Some of them fear when they see foreigners. Some of them fear when they see even, people that they are not comfortable in with. Some of them shut up and say no word for quite a long time until they gradually opened up. Definitely they go extreme distress, and also physically. Unfortunately, many of them are wounded. Many of the hospitals we visit confirm that the biggest number of civilians they have in the hospitals are children.
Traumatized in mind and body, but alive. Lucky by local standards. Though, let's be frank, they're stuck in orphanages and refugee camps in Iraq. And do you believe, given the sheer magnitude of the problem, thousands and thousands of orphans alone, do you believe you can adequately help them?
We are helping those children. We see, certainly we don't have enough resources. The children are almost everywhere, but ultimately the support comes from family, from government, and the extended family, that once we connect children, everybody is keen to receive them and support them.
The problem is making the connection. Not all of these orphans are Iraqi. So many are foreign, the children of ISIS fighters.
It is much better if foreign children were reunited with their families. They will have problems here with documents, in schools, with health care. They need their families' love.
Problems is putting it lightly. In Iraq, tribal culture venerates blood feuds and revenge. ISIS harmed millions. There are those who would use these children, who hate them for what their parents did.
They are vulnerable for abuse. They are vulnerable for trafficking. They are vulnerable for any danger that children are exposed to. In today's technology, any bad group could go get those children and harm them.
Some of these lost children are raped. They're assaulted, abused, and abandoned, killed for their organs, hated for the sins of their fathers. The UN and UNICEF do what they can to protect them, but there are too many. Getting them out is a reward unto itself. We helped identify and reunite a number of these children, yet it isn't straightforward. UNICEF, for example, wants these kids' identities protected, fearing stigma or exploitation.
We tell our children, do not talk to strangers. If we do not allow our children to talk to normal strangers that we do not know, how do we think of allowing a child that have gone through a real crisis to be exposed into a big camera?
It's a hard choice. You can show their faces for everyone to see and let their relatives recognize them, or pray that they find them themselves. One desperate young refugee among Iraq's millions. Murad Gazdiev, RT, from Erbil, Iraq.